Welcome to Unclogged Conversations, powered by Larry Stinson Plumbing. Today, Scott and I are going to talk about ServiceTitan.
Yeah.
The pros and the cons of ServiceTitan.
Yeah.
Why you should or should not use it in your company.
To keep getting more trucks on staff, and I'd like to grow us to at least 10 trucks and maybe a little bit more on the commercial side where I have some more commercial plumbers running more often. And I'd like to grow our office a little bit bigger and get more in depth. I know Scott being in the office definitely helps a lot. He was kind of learning what comes up down.
I would drown without you, Julie.
Day to day in my office is not as easy as the plumbers think, actually.
Yeah.
No, it's been fun to see what it's like over here.
And you know, I want to say we talked about some of it before. That was a while back, and I've used it a lot more on the opposite end now.
Yeah.
And
So what is ServiceTitan? What is the benefits to ServiceTitan?
I mean, major benefits are just being able to track and update everything in real time. I mean, you can track from how many hours you were at the job. You can track how long somebody was at the job, every note that was taken, everything that was changed on an invoice. I mean, you can just backtrack all of it. You can constantly be updating your pricing and your material costs and everything, and it just rolls it blanket across whatever tagged item you have with that material in it. And it really does streamline the process on and keeping your prices up to date.
Since you're a newbie to the office, what's the benefits in the field for the licensed tech out there?
I mean, benefits in field, I'd say, it makes estimating a lot faster and easier because you can just sit there and just kind of just find the tags you need specific to the job. Now, sometimes you're not going to have everything in there, and you got to, because I mean, especially in plumbing, you get off in the weeds pretty quick in plumbing. It's like, well, is this something from 70 years ago that followed no codes whatsoever? Or
well, it's kind of like the conversation we just had right before we walked in here. Somebody unplugged the shower valve and gored to the shower valve, and my water showing up.
a shower valve.
That's a different story. I don't know why we have electricity running to shower valves nowadays, but we do.
Yeah, we do.
It seems to be more and more popular.
There's always more technology you can add to running water.
Let's hook electricity to it. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then stand in the shower.
Yeah.
That's what I don't get. But
Yeah.
people like those things. So anyways, ServiceTitan, back to ServiceTitan.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the office side. Now you've been here for close to a year.
So again, the office side, at first it kind of drove me nuts, but the more and more I use it, the more benefits I see out of it. I mean, again, just being able to keep track of everything. I mean, down to the letter, it timestamps everything for you. Mm-hmm. So I know when, where, how, why. All I got to do is click a few buttons and I have all the information I could ever want on that job.
That's why today's guest is today's guest.
And yeah, taught me a lot on how to use this.
She understands ServiceTitan better than any of us, I think.
Yeah.
And she's trained. She went to the training of it, and has her and one other lady that we had here for a little while. They both did the training, and they both told me that the training was almost worthless.
Oh yeah,
but it did teach them. They took away some key points from it.
Get your basics down, and then you play with it yourself to figure out all the ins and outs of it. Yeah.
So you want to help me welcome Julie O'Brien?
Julie O'Brien.
Hello, Mrs. O'Brien.
Unless you're going to do something with your hair.
So, my oldest child. How long you been here?
Been here full time for about 3 years now. I don't know what you want to count before that.
I was about to say, I've never really not been here.
If I remember right, when she went to college, I'm not going to work for you. You know that, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to coach softball, or I'm going to do something else. It was never, I'm not working for you, right? Is that not what you said when you were like 18, 19 for years?
Yeah. That was immaturity and didn't know that I wanted to be just like my dad.
That's what it was. I didn't know that. All right. So what's your favorite thing here at Larry Stinson's Plumbing?
My favorite thing.
Me, obviously.
Handling customers, right? Satisfying customers. That's one thing you strive. I see out of you.
That is one of my big things of dispatching.
Dispatching.
Done to look for that.
You worry more about everybody being in a row than your mama does. I didn't think nobody could top your mama on that, but
Learn from
I
her.
found it.
Yeah.
But so-and-so's here. Why are we sending him there? Because he needs to go there. Okay. That generally ends it.
Yeah. I can't have you see the name on your shirt and your hat. And I have much leeway with that.
No. So back to ServiceTitan. What's your favorite thing about ServiceTitan?
I think having the history and being able to see exactly what each plumber has done at a previous job site on the house and being able to compare notes with other plumbers and always having that in our back pocket. And I really like that on the dispatching side, I can pull up a whole map and have my whole day lined out pretty much on that map on ServiceTitan and not have to sit there and go through Google and do the routes on each single person.
Yeah. Where do you think is the most beneficial tool at ServiceTitan on the office side? I mean, if somebody out there was watching this, they own a small 3-4 plumbing company, truck plumbing company, what's your number one sales key to, and which we're not paid by ServiceTitan by any means for this video. If they want to, they're more than welcome to get hold of me. They got my number, I'm sure, somewhere in their phone. But what's your favorite that you think benefits us as a company and customers?
I think one of the bigger things is being able to pull purchase orders and keep track of our inventory that way and the inventory that we've started lately doing and having all of that right there. And you can see how much you've spent on each job and you have all of it right there on the invoice and you don't have to go anywhere else for it.
Yeah. What, as far as customers goes, I think the biggest thing that they got is they got all their information and all their file, in which they don't have access to from our side, but it's all right there on their file. And they call and they need to know what happened on August 3rd, 2023. In a matter of seconds, you can tell them.
Yeah, I mean, I just had that happen last week. A guy is selling his house and wanted to know exactly when we installed his water heater, and it was August 5th of 2018. So I still have the records from back then and whenever we transferred over into ServiceTitan.
Yeah. So we've been with ServiceTitan for going on 6 years now. We started in 2020. Yeah. And so we started the transition in 2019, fully flipped in 2020, January 2020. We've added features, took away features. Their price book is okay.
You can run a company off their price.
Yeah.
You can, but.
And it has its benefits. I missed a few little things, and they're adding to that. But the Price Book Pro didn't suit our needs. And so Scott and myself Scott more than me, has spent many hours rebuilding our price book.
I was about to say, more than you lately.
Yeah.
You spent a lot of time a couple years back.
A lot.
So what makes you come to work on every day? Why do you get up and come here every day?
Because I'm building your legacy and my legacy and for my kids to have. And
Speaking of my kids.
I mean, my kids, yeah. Speaking of mine.
Got a little welder / plumber coming.
Don't tell my husband, but be a plumber, not you. Yeah.
They can do both. He just has to be a pipeline.
There you go.
I mean, you can
Go
go
run the big pipes.
weld the gas lines on the big commercial jobs. Yeah. So you could do both. You can mix both plumbers and welders and go back and forth.
I'm 16. Forget about your driver's license. You're getting your apprentice card.
There you go.
I bet he gets the driver's license anything like his mama. The only child I had that over 1 weekend did her driver's ed online. Turned 15 by June 15th, I think it was. Her birthday was like on a Friday. By June 15th, she was like, let's go to DMV. And of course, it was before COVID and you didn't have to book 6 months out to get in the DMV.
Yeah.
Because our youngest is now 15 and she's not as fast as her sister, but second fastest. And she was messing with that last night. And so now we're driving in June to Sulphur Springs to do her DMV things. Because that's the closest date she could find that beat June 3rd so that she can get her license on January 3rd of her birthday, 6 months later, because you have to have your your permit for 6 months.
Wow.
And then you can get your driver's license if you've had it for 6 months. So, what do you hate about the plumbing world?
There's a couple keywords I will never say.
What's that?
No.
No.
There's one that starts with a U. And we don't use it much anymore, I don't think. It's a UPNOUR. Pretty sure is how you spell it.
Uber.
Choose the word.
Like moist.
I think as far as one of the bigger things that I hate in the plumbing world is that nothing can be expected. You can't expect a job to go right.
But it's only supposed to take 5 minutes.
Take 5 minutes, bros.
It's so ever changing, and there's just so much new learning every day, and nothing ever stays the same.
You don't know the worst thing you can say as a plumber when you walk in and look at a job?
It'll take me 5 minutes.
This shouldn't take long.
Yeah.
This won't take long. I got you.
This won't take you long at all.
I'm only going to charge you minimum charge because this won't take long.
And then I'm calling the plumber 3 hours later.
Where you at?
It's all fall, little bugger.
Yeah, that's one key things you got to learn as a young plumber is never say this won't take long.
And should.
Yeah, it should.
The big one.
It should do.
It should work.
So, where do you want to see the company grow?
I'd like to keep getting more trucks on staff, and I'd like to grow us to at least 10 trucks and maybe a little bit more on the commercial side where I have some more commercial plumbers running more often. And I'd like to grow our office a little bit bigger and get more in depth. I know Scott being in the office definitely helps a lot. Was kind of learned what comes up day
I would have drowned without you, Julie.
to day in the office is not as easy as the plumbers think, actually.
Yeah.
No, it's been fun to say, see what it's like over here?
Yeah.
You thought I was just bitching at you every day, didn't you?
I know. And I mean, me and Scott bounce back and forth off of each other. And I'm like, what do you think about this? And he's like, well, let's do this. And he'll ask me what I think about something. And it's nice to have a plumber in here that works with you all day and can give you feedback.
Mm-hmm. Well, when's your baby due?
September. We'll see if he comes in September. Maybe August.
You excited?
Yeah.
What that?
You see?
Yeah, kind of. I don't know, maybe.
It's my first kid. I don't know. It's scary.
Scary.
Find out.
All right, well, you got a crazy story?
I'm sure you do.
Put me on the spot.
Crazy story.
Funny story. Ain't got nothing. Everybody's been here has had a story, and you're going to be the first guest from this story.
I don't know. Like,
I know a crazy one for you, but it has nothing to do with plumbing. You're one of the only people I've ever met that got hit by a deer.
Oh,
that's too far.
That's too far.
I don't know what kind of story do you want.
something has happened in the office or to a plumber or customer without insulting the customer.
I have so much stuff going on in my head all day.
Nothing, huh?
I'm trying. I'm really.
He does it to me all the time. Puts me on the spot. I was like, I hadn't thought about this at all.
Okay, so you got a video out there, but we'll cover some more here. What can a customer expect when they call Larry's of Plumbing? What's good questions for them to ask, or them not to ask, or what does a customer expect or should expect when they call Larry's of Plumbing?
I think one of the big things is that you're gonna get the office, not a on-call answering service, and we have real people that work in the office that can help you and answer your questions. And if me or Pam doesn't know the answer, I have Scott in the office too. But I would expect also whenever you call in to get questions asked back to you, because there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just your sewer lines clogged. It's, do you have clay knots in the front of your home, or is everything else clogged in your house? Do we have to pull a toilet? And I think there's just a lot of questions that get asked back that maybe customers don't realize that people are going to ask them, and they just think it'll be a quick 30-second phone call instead of 2 minutes. And I think one of the big things that sets us apart too from using ServiceTitan is whenever that plumber dispatches to your home, you get a text message and it sends you what the plumber looks like, a bio about them, and the tracking on their van as well, so that it's not just some random person showing up and you feel a little bit more comfortable. And then we have everything to cover you, from pictures that are taken all the time and your invoice with a full write-up for your records and our records. And like we said earlier, we always keep it on our backside. And then you'll get a review after the job's completed. And if nothing is wrong, we would love for you to leave a 5-star. If something is wrong, we're always there to answer and help and see what we can do to make you feel better and see what we can do to address the situation in full.
And I may step on toes here, but that's one thing I wish people would do first is call my office and discuss a problem before you just jump on Google, and I will fix it.
And yes, like we'll at least work with you.
Yeah.
And figure some kind of solution to make it fair and good for everybody.
But today's society has gotten to where I'll show them. I'll give them 1-star review.
Yeah.
And I understand. I mean, I've given 1-star reviews where it's due. Not a lot. I'm not a big review person.
Yeah.
But I have. But I just wish customers across the board, not just my company, because most companies out there are genuine companies. They care about their employees. They care about the customers. They care about their livelihood. And
Because if you stop using us, how do we keep making money?
yeah, and a lot of times it's something that may have happened with a plumber or may have happened with the office staff or something that needs to be addressed. You get on Google and just blast me. And then never answer my phone call when I call you about it. How do I fix the problem from happening again?
Yeah. Help us help others too.
Yeah, I think you need to call and talk to the, management of some sort at that place and say, here's my concern and here's what I feel needs to happen, and then talk it out. But man, the society is so quick to just jump on the internet now.
Yeah.
And badmouth everybody. I mean, some companies deserve it.
And there are definitely those out there, especially the contracting world. My gosh, we've been ripped off by contractors before. We are contractors, and we've been ripped off by other contractors.
And all across the board. I mean, every company. I mean, I've seen things at restaurants and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be contractors. And I even read reviews on restaurants and stores and stuff. I'm like, could you not make a phone call before you left that?
Yeah.
That seems like a phone call to resolve that whole issue.
Yeah.
But I guess not.
The biggest one that kills me is the bad reviews on a price on a job you didn't go for.
Yeah.
Didn't charge you anything.
I didn't charge you a dime. You didn't like my price. I said, have a nice day.
I'm going to let the world know that you overcharge people. And that's what their thought is.
I guess, yeah.
That's pricing.
Yeah.
Pricing, overcharge pricing is an opinion. And your opinion may be totally different than the next person's opinion.
Yes.
Because it's just like the example most people use, and I've learned to adapt to using it, it's the difference between a Toyota Corolla and a Cadillac, let's say.
They both will get you there.
Yep. But one is a totally different ride, totally different luxury
Yeah.
than the other.
Yeah.
And so you're going to find that in every other, you can find that in fast food or restaurants. You can find that in plumbers. You can find that in HVAC guys. You can find that in remodelers. You can find that in everything in life. There's multi levels of service, and that's the number one thing I tried to. And we've as a team, as a family, we've tried to build this company to be where we are more than just minimal level of a company. We want to give you that nicer, higher quality experience.
It's all about the quality.
And that's why I get on with my guys about red tags and unfinished jobs that drag out. And that's not what higher quality is. We do it right the first time, and now mistakes happen and parts fail, and you're going to have warranties.
Oh, yeah. And there's no way. That's Ken Haney's service field, whatever. I mean, they roll out a new line of cars and half of them go back.
Look at all the recalls here going on lately.
Yeah.
But we that's what we pride ourselves in, and that's one thing that Scott has adapted to and trying to help everybody else understand is that we do it right the first time, and we're going to do it. It may take just a little longer than what we bid, or it may take the customer, a little longer than what the customer anticipated, but it's done right. And that's what we push for here at Lace to the Plum.
I think one of the things that really irritates me is when people think that their handyman down the road, our price should be the same as him. And why didn't you call your handyman back?
Well, I promise that the handyman don't have the experience we have, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, don't have the tools that we have.
Or the legalities that you're
No.
legally supposed to be doing that.
But you take all that off the board. There's a reason why there's plumbers, and there's a reason why there's handyman. Handyman, jack of all trades. You hear that phrase. I don't want to understand electrical. I want to understand enough electrical to make it where it's in my plumbing world works.
Yeah. But I there's always so much new plumbing coming out. I don't really have the time to completely learn an entire other industry.
And you can't as a handyman.
Yeah.
I don't care what you tell me. You can sit here on this podcast and tell me you understand all it all. You've done it all. You know a little of it all.
Yeah. And a little bit of everything. Not all of it.
You can't tell me, what most of them can't tell me is why it's plumbed that way. I can put it back exactly like it was.
Yeah.
That might not be right.
What if it was wrong originally?
Well, what if the codes have changed?
Yeah.
And that's the big thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you see in this room right here, we got code books all over the place, and they keep getting bigger.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You start tiny and now we're.
And so I think that's the biggest thing is between a handyman and a plumber or licensed trade is that. All right. You got anything you want to finish up on this? No? All right.
We couldn't do this without you, Julie.
You got a leak lounge for us today, or?
Yeah, I got a little one.
All right. Where's that drip?
Okay, so this one again, years ago, working on a huge sump pump. Well, I guess it wasn't huge, but it was a pretty good sized sump pump. I swear they're the bane of my existence. Hate these things. But this one had gone out. It was full to the brim. And I couldn't get the pump out. Got the lid off, couldn't get the pump out. Couldn't figure out why I couldn't get the pump out. Couldn't see because you're staring through brown water. So we were out kind of in the middle of nowhere, had no way to pump this out. It's raw sewage, so you can't just throw it on the ground. So I ended up having to sit there and use Home Depot buckets and just bail this stuff out. And then finally got it bailed down low enough. And I was surrounded by full up Home Depot buckets. It was disgusting. And finally figured out it was all wrapped up. The cord had gotten wrapped up around it, and that's what was keeping it wedged down. Finally got this thing up out of there, got it all set back right, and then had to sit there for another 15, 20 minutes of just pouring a bucket in, watching it fill up, pump kicks on, just sends it all out. In the next bucket, in the next bucket. There was so much corn.
Always floats to the top.
Always to the top. Why does it never change?
I don't know.
But yeah, so that was just a really nasty, stinky day. It just
And I never understood why they think corn's bad for you. It evidently doesn't.
does nothing.
They tell you corn's bad for you. I don't understand that. All right, can you top that?
No.
No, so what sort of top that? Will, can you top that?
Yeah, no, I don't have no corn stories. No, yeah.
He's like, I'm ending on that one. Just go ahead and call us him. All right. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and ring the bell. Give us some more, especially give us some more comments. Give us some ideas what you want to see.
Yep.
So some, our Milwaukee Air Snake did a video, did good. And yeah, check that out. And our
The chain steak.
chain steak.
Keep those things lubricated.
Yep.
Somebody finally made a video on how to lubricate those things.
Somebody said y'all use a rigid oil with a Milwaukee chain steak. So favorite thing to do in plumbing?
Favorite thing, I'd say probably at the end of the job, that feeling you get knowing you help someone out and the job's done, it's right. And like I said, at the end of the day, you just were able to help someone out. So that's probably that feeling you get, like I said, at the end of the job. I love that feeling and keep chasing it. So
what's your favorite type of job in plumbing?
I'd say honestly, tunnels.
Tunnels?
I like being under tunnels. Yes, sir.
That was never.
Oh, did somebody say that?
Yeah, they had a comment on that.
Yeah, they're going to be all right because it doesn't tell you what oil to use. It's like motor oil. What do you want me to put in this thing? Vegetable oil? Like, does it matter?
I don't think they ever figured anybody would actually do it.
Yeah, right.
They just thought they'd use it as an excuse to get not warranty it. But we did it.
Yeah, we did it.
All right. Thank y'all for joining us. I'm Larry.
Scott?
I'm Julie.
All right. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.